Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody. Today guys, we will give you the hint on the Canadian setup, Canadian dollar I mean. Briefly I have talked about it in the weekly research, but currently while the markets are waking up from the holidays, nothing really is going on yet. That's why we will take a look at the Canadian dollar. Although setup here hasn't been formed yet totally, but you will probably get the idea, and we will definitely watch closely on the development of this situation. If you remember, approximately 2 weeks ago, before the APEC meeting, we were preparing for upward breakout in the Canadian dollar because, as it was seen previously, APEC hardly comes to agreement at any meeting. It's a very difficult moment for them, and we thought that at that time it also will not happen, and Canadian dollar could show the breakout because the technical background on the charts suggests that hardly this could be some reversal to the downside. I mean, on the growth of the Canadian dollar, but mostly suggested the upper breakout. But suddenly, the APEC has come to agreement on the freezing of the extraction, and that was the supportive factor for the Canadian dollar. And for crude oil, their prices are skyrocketed, as you know, above the $50 per barrel on the crude oil. But then markets has stopped there. So actually, initially we were a bit confused because currently it's well-known moments that we also have talked about. So, I mean, the new energy policy by the Trump administration. So they have said that they will turn to more energy independence, and they will open the extraction and increasing domestic extraction in the United States. The classical way. Also, the shale and fraction extractors are activated as the prices on the crude oil has jumped. So, and we thought initially why in general Canadian dollar is growing, because it was not quite logical. The fundamental part, yes, APEC countries have frozen the extraction, but that will be replaced by the extraction in the United States. And it will hurt, first of all, on the Canadian export. That's why it's quite unreasonable why the Canadian dollar has turned to some growth. But the situation has resolved very fast, and this growth was really short-term, and right now everything stands as it should be. So that was just, take a look, this was just probably just short-term reaction on the news, because it was a bit surprised that the APEC countries come to agreement. So I will give the hint because probably we do not have the signal for trading right now, but you should understand first of all the background of this potential situation, because it mostly stands on the medium-term perspective. It's not really short-term tactical, but it really could get the significant continuation in the future. So we will not talk on the monthly chart because this is a bit too long period since we're mostly prepared daily videos. But on the monthly chart, there's also some mismatches between the action that we see and the idea of the bearish market. That somebody would like to present a Canadian dollar that it turns to the downside. I mean the currency pair. So on the weekly chart, what we see? Take a look. Initially, it seems that market really has formed the indeed bearish reversal pattern. So we have thrust down, very good thrust. ABCD retracement here. So that is regardless triple to completed. This is also strong resistance here, as you can see, 50% level 135.75. And indeed, in the APEC news, market indeed has started to move down. It's Canadian dollar started to move down to the growth, turns to the growth. But suddenly, here market stopped and reversed in opposite direction. what has happened. So how we could combine the idea of the bearish reversal pattern, it's large pattern, with this upward action. So because bearish market, as it has turned here, it should continue move down because everything already has been done for us here. ABCD retracement has been completed, so everything has been done. So that should be extension down, but this hasn't happened. Market suddenly stopped and turned to the opposite direction. Right now, as you can see, also dramatic action. So market has moved even above the monthly pivot point. Here, guys, by the way, market has retested the yearly pivot point and has jumped up again. And by this return, as you can see, market has formed very pretty nice harmonic retracement. So this really holds very well. As you can see, it's the same downward action here, and there. So this sudden stop here and reverse to the upside looks irrational for a normal bearish market. That's why we think that sooner rather than later market will break through the 135.75 area. And that comes not just by some technical picture or something. This comes from the fundamentals as well, guys, because as you can see, the freezing of the extraction by the OPEC countries has limited impact on the crude oil market because this frozen extraction will be replaced by the shale extractors in the United States and then growing in the policy that stands for opening the extraction in the domestic United States. So that's why this fundamental background could really become supportive for the upward action, so for a weaker Canadian dollar. Next destination point in the short-term perspective will be definitely the 618 resistance area, guys. I don't have the fib level on the chart, but probably stands at 138.75, somewhere in this area. And also, guys, this will be 1618 extension of that most recent swing. So, for example, market could form the butterfly on the lower time frame or something of that sort. That could bring market here. So that's the idea for the medium-term perspective. In the longer term, we will not exclude even the chance that market could take it out of this down. This also could happen, depending on how aggressive the Trump policy will be on extraction of crude oil in the United States. Because on the monthly chart, we see particular this development. Actually, guys, I just opened the, some discovery. Our secret is that we think that Canadian dollar could hit this 165 area. This really currently looks unbelievable, but who knew in the beginning of the year that market will reach 146? So that also was potential for the 35 points since the beginning of the year, and that was really significant upward action. That's why we do not see something really outstanding with the 1.65 area. We do not want to say that this will happen tomorrow, but in the long-term perspective, this is possible. But right now, we are watching for a breakout of this level and possible next targets 138.75. On the daily chart, guys, you could see even better this dramatic action. So take a look, market stands in the parallel channel. As soon as the butterfly has been completed, so reversal pattern has been formed right at the point of the reversal of this large ABCD on the weekly chart. Downward action has happened on the OPEC news, but then market suddenly stopped at the 618 support in the lower bottom of this channel and turned to the upside. If you'll take a look at the crude oil prices, you don't see anything. So take a look. That we understand what has happened. Here, this weekly chart, on the daily chart looks as follows. This is crude oil chart, guys. Here is the drop on the Canadian. But what is rally on the Canadian when crude oil stands flat? This is maybe something, some kind of the anticipation, the pricing in of the future events that we see right now on the Canadian dollar. So market right now stands at the same resistance, 35.75, 35.60 area. It's also daily overbought. And that's why we probably should wait for some bounce down here before taking the long position. Also, guys, as we said, if market indeed will start to form the butterfly, then we could see that left wing is already in place, and we should get the starting of the right wing. In the right wing, probably some retracement should happen. That's why maybe we could watch for some retracement on the 4-hour time frame chart. This first level to watch for probably will be nice area of confluence around 134. And take a look, this will be weekly pivot support 1 on the current week. So that will be the first level that we will be watching for. Also, it will not be some criminal if market will reach 132.60. But this probably be too deep retracement. This is more probable area. But if even this will happen, market return back right to 32.60 area, 50 area, then probably this will not be the strategy, because usually when the butterfly is forming, the retracement usually stands at 50%, 618, so it's normal. That's why I have said recently in the vehicle research that Canadian setup is not ready right now, since we still need some retracement. But still, you could understand the background of this trade, you could understand the idea, and it's probably could be really interesting in the nearest time. So let's keep watching on the Loonie what really has happened, and let's wait for acceptable entry point in the Canadian dollar.